Hey guys, wanted to give you a little update. I know it's been a while, but these parts get expensive and it's a slow process buying them, so this is an update on the turbo Mustang. So, as you already seen in the last video, I have the coilovers on there, got that all converted. Converted the front end to 5-lug discs. There's the rotors out there. Got the wheels on here. Tire's actually a little big. It's for, I had it on these wheels over here. Let's see if I can find them anyways. I don't know where I put them. They're somewhere around here. I must put them in the shed. But the wheel was a 4-inch wide wheel, or 4.5. And I believe it was a 4. And this is a 3.5-inch wheel. So the tires got a little bit of a, as you can see, a little bit too much of a bubble, but that's okay. I mean, they'll work just fine. When those end up getting wore out, I'll buy some other ones. But wanted to give you an update. Like I said, I kind of scrapped the idea of building the 8.8. Not that one. It's actually this 8.8 over here. You can see it's got some custom stuff done to it. I mean, it's got the brackets welded on there. The coilovers literally going up through the body. You can see that when you open the trunk. But I'm just gonna put the 8.8 C-clip eliminators on here, which I'll show you in a video later, and run that for a while with the old Ford engine, the 306, with the 67mm turbo, and you know, just bang away with that at the track this year. But the problem I'm having is the parts are so expensive. It's just going to take some time. The rear end I'm going with now is the Moser 9. Wanted a 9-inch, and I figured why not just get the Moser, the tubular, not tubular, it's fabricated steel. See, it's, I guess, triangulated, but extremely strong, extremely light. I didn't paint it, or didn't have it come painted, just because I need to fabricate the brackets on here, just like my other setup. So there'll be some welding that needs to be done. Once that gets done, I'll go ahead and paint it. Just paint it black. It'll have the Moser stickers on there and everything. I don't think those are it, but have disc brakes for it as well. Drag brakes, so no parking brake, but that's okay. It's got an automatic trans in it. I'm not that worried about it anyways. The axles are pretty serious. I mean, the last axles were real serious, but they were for an 8.8. The whole story is I actually called Moser to buy disc brakes for the rear. And the problem I had was with the C-clip eliminators, the disc brakes that they sold, and they sell, you know, Moser, Willwood, I think another brand as well. But they none of those would work because just the C-clip eliminator setup on it, the way it is, it just won't allow those disc brakes. The only company I found that would work is a company called Aeromotive. And they make good looking disc brakes. I don't know which is better. I believe the Willwoods are better. The Aerospace Engineering is just a drag setup as well, but they actually make the wheel stick out a little too far from what I've read about them. So where it was already, you know, just the wheel was right to the fender. I mean, it was just right there. I didn't want it to, you know, look gaudy and just ridiculous, so we want these things looking clean and nice. So what I ended up doing was getting the Moser, and I don't know if you can see from the picture, I'm sure a lot of you guys that are really into the stuff can, but the rear end's actually shortened. I shortened it 2 inches on each side. So you can kind of look at the axles here, and that's a really good indicator. Definitely shorter than stock. So what allowed me to do that was the rear tubs I had in place. Kind of, if you can see past the roll cage. Let me try to get it in here. There you see the tubs. So that should allow me to stuff those wheels in there 2 inches further in without a problem. If it's a problem, I'll just have to cut out the tubs and put some new ones in there. No biggie. But I think it'll work just fine. So with it 2 inches in, where it was like literally, you know, just flush with the fender, or maybe even sticking, you know, a centimeter out, it'll tuck it in there just nice. And that way when I redo it again and buy wheels in the future, although I wasn't planning on it, but now that I have it shortened, I could get a wider wheel with a different offset and have it look even nastier and just fit more tire under the car. But these aren't bad at all. They're 275 50/15s, so they're decent. Got some life left in them. I run them down to nothing though. So that'll be nice. They look great. Matter of fact, I could have swore the GM and Ford was the same bolt pattern, because I tried mounting those up. I'm going to the drag strip this Friday with my G8. See what it runs. I have the exhaust taken off of it right now. Well, just the mufflers. It's still got so much damn exhaust on it. It's unbelievable. I mean, you've got the cats up at the front, like literally right off the header. And then that goes to what basically looks like an H-pipe, but it's a big muffler. And then it goes into 2 resonators and then back to the 2 mufflers. Matter of fact, there's the mufflers I took off. Those are aftermarket. They came on the car. Sound good, though. I mean, not my, you know, preference, but, I mean, it wouldn't be what I bought, but Aero exhaust, never really heard of it. I don't know. But it was on there when I bought it. Now it's off. I think it'll be faster at the track with it off, just because, like I said, there's so much restriction anyways. Matter of fact, those catalytic converters go, I think, from 2.5 or 2 1/4 down to, you know, 1.75 inches from what I've read. And then back to 2 1/4 or 2.5, and then hit the end 2.5 or something ridiculous. I don't think you can see under there. I'll have to post a picture of what it looks like. I took the exhaust off and put it on the ground. Take a picture right there. So we'll see how it runs. Kind of getting sidetracked though, but long story short, I tried fitting those wheels on there, and it, for whatever reason, the bolt pattern wasn't the same. And like I said, I thought GM and Ford were the same, but bolt pattern wasn't the same. And as you can see, the disc brakes are larger than my other car. I mean, these are 19-inch wheels here. It's running a 245/40 series, but looks good. But I wanted something with that narrow tire on the front and some slicks on the back just to help with my time. So they wouldn't fit. The disc brakes wouldn't clear on the front or the back. So I'll have to end up buying maybe a 16-inch wheel with a, you know, a slick on the back. I don't know if the 15s will fit. No biggie, no biggie. It's not my drag car anyways. I just want to have fun, have a little fun with it. So there's where I'm at. As you can see, the axles, not only are shortened, but I went all out, man. I mean, these things are gun drilled with 40 splines. So that is as bad as it gets from Moser. 40 spline axles. As you can see, star flanges. So I literally did not, you know, I mean, everything that could be done, I had done. When I buy the center section for it, basically, that's what I'm saving for, is a center section, custom link drive shaft, fuel injectors, and a computer system, just because that stock one isn't gonna cut it with all that boost and all this stuff. So I may be able to buy like some kind of tuner and, you know, mess with it, but I'd rather just do it right. Well, there's the package right there. Let me show you the engine. I know you've seen it in the last video. Here's where it's at right now. As you can see, I have the, I mean, it's probably zoomed in a little too far. Let's go back. We'll just walk closer. Bought a Meizer water pump for it. I don't know if that's how you say it. It's actually their LS series water pump, which was ridiculous expensive. God, I think it cost me like $700-something. And that's actually a pulley you can wrap the serpentine belt around, which I probably won't use anyways. What I'm going to do is just mount the alternator right there and just run it straight from the alternator to the crank and nothing else. It's not going to have power steering, because as you can see, it has a manual rack. I know you've seen this in the last video, but I can't get enough of it. Tubular K member, tubular A arms. So this thing has had some significant weight reduction to the front end, to say the least. But that's going to go in there. Bought the Holley intake manifold. I can't even remember what they call it. It was, I mean, the next best thing to a aluminum fabricated manifold, like a Wilson manifold or something, but it's the Holley EFI series. Matter of fact, it came with these fuel rails, which is a bonus, because I don't need to buy fuel rails. And the other alternative I was looking at was the fast manifold. But from all the dynos I've seen, this thing makes, you know, compared to the fast manifold, more power and at a higher RPM range, which is what I'm looking for with the turbo and just in general anyways. So the bad part is well, I don't know if you can say it's a bad part for money, but the turbo is a 67 millimeter. So I think that it's like maxed out, like with the about 800 horse or maybe a little more. I'll have to look up the specs on it again, being a 67 millimeter. It's one of the newer generation turbos, but yeah, so the problem I'm going to have is it'll only be at 800 horse, which is, you know, decent. I mean, it's really good, but I mean, with the engine, I can really crank it up. So I'd like to get another 67 millimeter and just run twins, but I may just end up throwing that on, no, probably not that, maybe the G8, or just selling it and get a, you know, 102 or 90, somewhere around there. I probably wouldn't even go with the Turbonetics. I just slap something on there for cheaper. You never know. We'll have to see when the time comes, but nonetheless, I'm going to throw it on there, and matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can just, well, I'm sure all that stuff will build up just fine since it's another Fox body. I have to cut it up a little bit where that one is. But the other project I have is this 347 stroker. I'm just going to basically just build this thing and sell it just to make some money, because I don't need two of these cars. But to be honest with you, I kind of prefer the coupes better, just because of, I don't know, just my taste has changed over the years. I used to like the GTs better, then I like the LX hatchbacks better, and now I've just liked the coupes better. I've liked them for years better, but I bought this one with the cage in it and the tubs already, and the way it was set up, so before I went to all this extra work. But the car's just so set up, it would be, I don't know, just ineffective to try to do this one that way. Besides that one, this one's got, you know, some stuff I need to work on. I tried getting this off. It looks like it's just too deep. I'm just gonna have to buy a new door. I've got one already, so let's throw that on there. The only other real rust is, as you can see, right here. But I'll just take that to get fixed up. There I go, knocking shit over. Here's this. This was the 2¼ inch exhaust, because what I'm going to do is take the H pipe off, probably this weekend, and cut out the resonators, weld this in place. I'm not the best welder, but, you know, it's going to be under the car, so I don't care what it looks like. Weld it in place, and just get the G8 sounding better and breathing better. And we'll throw all this stuff back together. We'll put this up on top of the old Ford 306. There's all the leftover parts from the build. Well, let's continue on with what else I've got for it since the last video. I know I said I was going to get a Power Glide, but gosh, I don't know. I just think the TH400, the Turbo 400, would be much better until maybe I get like generously over 1,000 horsepower or 1,000 horsepower. I think with the 3 gears and no overdrive, just it'll launch a lot harder. I know that, especially with the torque converter. This is a transmission specialty, so I mean, look at that SFI certified bell housing too. I can't remember what company that was made from. I guess it doesn't say on there, but anyways, it's pretty thick aluminum. So I mean, this trans is extremely built. It's got a trans brake, reverse valve body, and then the transmission specialties drag converter. It's a 5,500 RPM stall, so I mean, needless to say, this thing's going to spool up good. So, got the block painted. Like I said, the water pump, painted the pulleys. That's a stock pulley. I shouldn't say pulleys because they're all off now except for the crank. And bought the fast throttle body. God, I think this thing was like $500. I mean, they really get you. It's all right though. Sure looks amazing. I mean, what other throttle body comes with a case like that? Selling point, not really, but I didn't even know it came with that. So 102 millimeters, which is what the inlet size is here. I don't know how I'm going to plumb that. Have to mount it up and see how it goes. So that's the update right now. Put the gears in this, but that was when I was planning on putting it in the coupe, but I'm just going to slap this in the turbo stang and just run it with the 306 until next year, or until I save another, you know, $2,000-3,000 to finish it with the computer system, center section, spool, gears, injectors, if I didn't already say that, and custom link drive shaft. Anyways, I look forward to keeping you updated. I know it's been slow, but it is what it is. Thanks, guys.